I got to go to the NFB National Federation of the Blind Washington Seminar and the American Council of the Blind ACB Leadership Conference. Both events were held in Washington, D.C. Even though these events are called two different things and are put on by two different organizations, they're basically the same thing. Their members go to Washington, D.C. to lobby their Congress members about three or four different issues that each organization selects. And this is actually my second time going to both events in the same year. The other time I did it was in 2019, the ACB Leadership Conference. So the thing that stands out to me the most, and that was the funnest and most interesting, was when we went on a tour to the Bureau of Engraving. This is where they make money from beginning to end. So when we got there, they took our phones away because we weren't able to take videos or cameras for security purposes. But the two things that stand out to me was getting to field $80,000 that were completely finished and ready to get shipped out. They were in 20s, so they were in stacks of 20s, and the stack was as big as like from my head all the way to my waist, or even lower. That's how long and tall the stack was. It was crazy feeling it because I was like, man, there's people that actually have $80,000 and they could spend it all in one day and it's nothing to them. That's how rich they are. So that was pretty cool to be able to feel that. And then the second thing was getting to feel a replica of the $10 bill that's gonna come out in 2026. The reason it was so interesting was because they had the tactile markings that I guess they currently have that they're trying to put, so when gets released, it'll have them on there. So that was great feeling the tactile markings, and I can't wait to get the $10 bill in 2026. So 2 years from now, finally America gets tactile markings and is inclusive when it comes to their currency. It's so crazy that there's countries that are not as rich as us, but yet they still have tactile markings. I think like China, Canada, and some other places. I can't remember all the places, but they already have tactile markings. So after that, later on in the day, we got to go to the ACB national office. This is their new office, and it was pretty big. It was a nice place. I got to see where everybody from the national office works. I took a lot of pictures with everybody, all the staff members there, and I got to meet the executive director, the new one. His name is Scott Thornsville. I got to meet him, talk to him, and like I said, I took a picture of everything. You can see those pictures on the gram. Then after that, we were there for like an hour and 30 minutes. I think me and my friend we went back to the hotel, and then we got ready. We got ready to go to the club. We went to a techno place called Soundcheck. It was great. We were there until like 2:30 in the morning. We got there like at 10:30 or 11. We were just dancing the whole time. It was super fun, and the staff was super accommodating. So if you're ever in DC and into techno music, go to Soundcheck. That place was great. It was a great way to end the night. Then I think the presentation that stands out the most to me was definitely Procter and Gamble. They basically talked about how their products came to be inclusive. Like they had tactile markings. We got to feel some products that they had worked on, and like I said, they had tactile markings and stuff, and they talked to us about how that came to be and everything. And then we kind of got to feel them. And one issue that came up that I definitely agree with is that the tactile markings felt like they were part of the product. If that makes any sense. Like if I were to give you the bottle and I didn't tell you, okay, these tactile markings that you feel right here, there so you can tell the difference between bottles. If I didn't tell you that, I think the majority of people wouldn't know that the tactile markings were for us, especially for us, because they felt part of the product. Like when they gave me the bottle, I was like, hey, so where are the tactile markings? Because they felt like they were just part of the product. So that was an issue that we brought up, and they're like, okay, we'll work on that. Hopefully, we can get that fixed. And I think they have some stuff for people with low vision, like color contrast and stuff like that. And they surprised us. They were like, all right, you guys get to take these unreleased products home with the tactile markings. And I took one bottle home, but the issue was that it was too big. Like it had too many ounces. So when I went through the TSA, because I only had my carry-on bag, so they're like, oh, yeah, it has too many ounces, so you're not gonna be able to take this. So I had to leave it behind, and I kind of regret it because I only had one bag, and I could have just checked it in instead of carry-on, and I could have brought home that bottle and I would have had an unreleased product that had tactile markings from them. But no, I didn't do that. The reason I didn't do that was because I was afraid to lose my clothes. I had a lot of clothes in there, and I was like, man, if they lose it, I'm gonna lose all my clothes. Is it worth it just for a bottle? But now I think, yeah, it would have been worth it, even if I would have lost all my clothes, just to be able to hopefully bring the bottle back home. I had a meeting with one representative, and it went great. I was like a little afraid I was gonna forget some of the details about the bills that we were talking to them about, but it went great. I was able to get around the building, the Congress building, pretty good. Like my O&M skills came through, and I got around really good, and I took pictures inside and outside the building, so that was great. The NFB Washington Seminar. So I wasn't feeling too good during Washington Seminar. That really limited my participation. Like I didn't even go to the NABS option, the National Association of Blind Students option that takes place at night. That's a really big event because I wasn't really feeling good. The first official day, I got to go to the job fair for a little bit, but this is after I came back from the Jernigan Institute. So the institute's all about research and training related to blindness. It took like an hour from the hotel to get there to Baltimore. It went pretty fast though, because I was talking to people that I had just met. I never knew them, but it was really fun. We were talking and laughing about anything and everything. So it was cool to meet them. I think one person is like the incoming president of the Maine affiliate. So that person was great to talk to. I have to admit though, I think the tour felt really rushed. Like once we got there, NFB President Mark Riccobono gave us like the backstory of how the Kenneth Jernigan Institute came to be. I think it cost them $20 million. They said to build it. They started or to fundraise and build it. They started like in 1997, and then it opened in 2004. So once we got that done with that, the backstory, we took a tour. We took a tour of the library where they take technology, the gym, where they have some items that are notable, like the rocket ship that some teenagers built, and then the West Virginia self-driving car. This is the same car that NFB President Mark Riccobono drove for the blind driver challenge, I believe it was called. So he drove it in 2009 all by himself. So I took a picture with that. And then I took a picture where he does the presidential release. So you can see those pictures on the gram. Hopefully you can check them out. But I'm definitely going to have to go back because it felt super rushed. And I wish I could have done more and checked out more stuff because I had a lot of questions and I wanted to see more stuff that was in there, more of the building. But I'll have to make a day one day to visit the institute so I can get a more detailed tour of it. And this year was actually my first year getting to go to the congressional reception. The reception is basically so NFB members can talk to senators, representatives, and their staff about the issues that we're lobbying for. The senators and representatives also talk to us about the issues and how they believe in the NFB, they believe in our work and what they're doing to hopefully get these bills passed because we want to see these bills get passed. And they had a lot of food and drinks. I actually didn't eat that day. I didn't get anything from Uber Eats. I just ended up eating there, so they filled me up. So thanks for the NFB for that. And yeah, like I said, this is my first time going because I don't think I went. I know I'm pretty sure they had it in the past, their congressional reception, but I missed it for whatever reason. Because the first time I went, I was kind of overwhelmed. But yeah, it was a great experience. We had we had meetings the first day. I think it was like 3 meetings. So the first day we went to the Hill with the NFB. It was I just went for one day because, like I said, I wasn't really feeling good. So my teammates did all the talking. We talked to like 3 representatives, and yeah, my teammates basically carried me. The representatives seemed pretty interested in a couple of the bills, and I kind of regret not taking more pictures with my teammates and the building. But yeah, the meetings went alright. I wish I would have felt better so I could have done some of the talking for the bills that I felt passionate about. Recapping the NFB Washington Seminar and the ACB Leadership Conference, I definitely recommend everybody going. I had a great time both times I went. This was definitely a success. it's a great experience being able to lobby your Congress members and seeing what it's all about, seeing your friends again, getting to go on the tours. And the thing that was great about this year that I loved is two of the issues that both NFB and ACB lobbied for were the same ones. So those issues were the Medical Device Non-Visual Accessibility Act, making medical devices accessible, and the Websites and Software Applications Accessibility Act, making websites, mobile application, and all online services accessible. So that was great to see them work together, because sometimes they don't work together. People think they're rivals, and sometimes they'll pick an issue that they want to be passed and they want to work on, but they'll have a different approach on it. But this year was different. They were using the same approach on the same bill. So that was great to see. And if you ever want to go, reach out to your state affiliate or your vocational rehab counselor. They can hopefully get you some help, financial assistance to get you to go, because it's a great experience. I recommend everybody going there. So, kind of the schedule for my upcoming videos, I'm kind of trying to switch it up. It's definitely going to be the third week, but I'm kind of going back and forth on Saturdays, Fridays, and Tuesdays, just because I want to see what works, what gets more views, interactions, and everything like that. So, share, comment, subscribe, do everything you do to support me, and I'll see you next time.